Check one. All right, check it out. Just a breakdown, y'all. Come on in, have a seat. Welcome to the Cognac Chronicles. Straight from the underground, the show. DJ Mike C. We gonna sit back, relax, and sit back at the bar, you know what I'm saying, and do what we do. Toss it up and pop the top. We got a lot of variety of flavors, and they all come from the land of cognac. So we gonna
get check 1 2. It's your boy DJ Mike C, coming at you live straight from the underground, the show. And it's cold in the big dog outside. I think it's about 4 inches of snow outside. You know what I'm saying? We just got our first snow in, so we had to come on inside and do this thing. And in the house today, I got my man onetruth. And he is a poet. Let's say that. But we'll clear up those discrepancies as we go along. You know what I'm saying? Want to say what's up to everybody. You know what I'm saying? What's up to my crew, Raw Dynamics, and everybody, Primal Rage, all my good homies and all that good stuff. What happened? So, my man onetruth, what's happening, my dude? How you doing, bro? I'm good. Good to see that you came on down in this severity of weather that we got going on. Yeah. So what's happening with you, my man?
Oh, pretty good, man.
That's good. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad. Like I said, once again, I'm glad that you came on down. So we're gonna get right into this. Your name, and I've seen this, you know what I'm saying, on the CD covers. You know what I'm saying? It's onetruth poet, or tell me, you know what I'm saying, define your name. You dig what I'm saying? That way, that gives people, you know what I'm saying, a true understanding, you know what I'm saying, what your name means, and it's an introduction to the people out there.
All right. Well, just a small correction. It's actually just onetruth.
Okay. Inside about how did it get to just that?
The problem with onetruth, the poet, or onetruth poet, is that I have to use that a lot in like logins, or from Facebook to MySpace, and things like that, because onetruth is usually just taken as a login all the time. And a lot of people usually call me onetruth the poet just because when they do research, that's what they find. So it's easy to say, oh yeah, onetruth the poet, and I don't mind, but it's onetruth.
It gets aggravating sometimes. I can understand that. So even with that being said, even though the part of the poet is in your name, what's the best way to describe? Is that the best way to describe your style? Are you a poet? Is it a spoken word artist? You know what I'm saying? How do you put your, what type of style do you, poetry do you represent?
Well, there's definitely many genres within, within poetry. And I would definitely describe myself as a spoken word artist. You've got page poetry, you've got slam poetry, you've got spoken word.
What's the true definition of spoken word?
Spoken word, see, there's a difference. It's almost self-explanatory with spoken word. You're pretty much speaking to the people. Page poetry can be very interpretive.
In places like now.
And all of these forms of poetry can be within one genre. Like in spoken word, you can have interpretive, work within your spoken word, but it's pretty much the way you approach. Not all spoken word can be read on a page, but mostly all good spoken word can be felt. And the most important thing is, can you feel it right here?
Listen to my body.
That's what's up.
Cheer for you to go.
As we go along with this, I understand that, you know what I'm saying, in your travels or whatever, that you used to be an MC. You know what I'm saying? I heard you used to, pick up the mic and do the one too. And who is endangered species? Let's talk about that right now.
All right.
Well, I covered some things.
Yeah, you did your research. Big time.
Right.
Endangered Species was a hip hop group that started in like high school around 1991. I think I was in I'm not even gonna tell.
Right.
Yeah. High school I was in. Right. But I was in high school
at that time,
and a couple guys got together, and the crew evolved over the years, and changed at least 3 times.
To spell my
but
name on the
we got together and and I started
till the moisture
picking up the
rains
mic in
down
like 5th grade. And I
Run your
flowed like 5th
fingers
and
through
6th
your
grade. That's
hair.
when everybody thought it was going to be a fad.
Yelling in waves of victory.
7th and 8th grade, I mean, you know, it wasn't a fad, but I kind of left it alone.
Split the lips of this
Kind of the
non-verbal
girls and stuff like that. And then in 9th grade, one of the dopest MCs that I had known at that point came to me and asked me to pick up the pen again. So,
because I sure want
kind
to
of
scream his
did
name.
that, and that happened
Wonder if
until
heaven is in rain.
1999. We kind
Right
of
now I'm all wet.
fizzled away.
Can't
Part
hold
way,
back
right?
too long.
Okay. And then it was at that point that you pretty much transitioned into doing poetry. At that point, right? In '99, the main reason that we kind of stopped on the MC game is, you know, we live in a tough city, right? You know, Cleveland is very, very hard to make it, if that's what you want to call it. There's not a lot of people that come here looking for talent. There's not a lot of people here that are successful that stayed here that are looking for talent. Okay. So it's tough. Okay. So it was 2 years that I didn't do anything, and in 2002, I picked up the spoken word, and I kind of felt like that's where I needed to be.
That was your lane, per se.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you have, you know, been blessed enough to, you have a few projects out. And tell me what each one of those projects meant to you real quickly, starting with the first one. I don't know how they came in succession, but for the first one I have here is Soundtrack to Life. Tell me what that one meant to you.
Soundtrack to Life was my second album.
Okay.
I can backtrack to the first album, which was Life in the Key of Poetry.
Okay.
It took me 3 years to even come out with an album in spoken word. I was hitting open mics up. So for artists out there, I stress to you to let the people make you. Don't come into anything that you're doing thinking you hot, because you listen to yourself. Right. I let the people make me as an artist, and I let them say that I was good. Okay. So it took me 3 years of getting tired of people, hey, do you have an album, do you have a book, do you have a chapbook, a CD, anything, what do you have? And I said, okay, it's time to go to the lab. So that first album meant a lot to me because it was all live at the B-side, which is the spot we do every Tuesday, at the B-side of the lounge. And it was a super piece band. It's live, it's real edgy, and it's right at you.
Okay. So even with that being said, I had the, you know, the pleasure of, you know, saying, checking out your show. So I know what to expect, but if somebody's coming, you know, saying to check you out, what can they expect, or what would be the, you know, the type of experience that they will get when they see you do your thing?
All right, well, one thing that I pride myself on is being one of the most diverse poets in the nation, because I want to be diversified to audiences that I come across. So just quickly to go back to the albums, all 3 of my albums are different. You know, I have a live album, I have an all studio album, which is the Soundtrack to Life, which is all produced. And then my latest album, Expression Sessions, is an all live in the studio album, which I recorded in San Francisco. So, you know, you go from that to live performances. I've done live performances with bands, I've done live performances with acapella. So I try to kind of skew my work to the audience that I'm in front of. So whatever you do, you're going to hear some truth, and you're going to hear some stuff that's right at you.
What's up? I want to jump into a little sidebar here, you know, because we talk about a lot of hip-hop on the Underground Show. So you got, like, cats like Weezy, Kanye, Lil Wayne, so forth and so on. And they're, you know, pretty much the big wigs of, you know, some of the big wigs of the industry. But as far as the poetry industry, you know what I'm saying, who are those types of equivalents? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you have, unfortunately, poetry is split And it's split on the racial ends. You have some Caucasian or more page poets that are big wigs, and then you have some more of the spoken word genre, which is more on the urban side, that are big wigs. Some of the big wigs on the spoken word side are cats like Talam Acey. You got cats, or you have a female by the name of Sonny Patterson, which is a phenomenal artist.
Yeah, I've seen it. She's
you got like my homeboy Future. You got cats like 13 and Nazareth. I mean, there's a slew of people, but those people that I just spoke of are like some of the major cats.
Okay.
More on the more paid side, I mean, you got the Buddy Wakefields, the Rachel McKibbins.
That's what's up.
You know, it's a slew of those people too that do a lot of college circuits.
Now, even so we are here at that, so do you think that it's harder for a poet to, build a fan base? Because unlike rap, you know what I'm saying, you got a lot of different, even though it's so many different styles from rap, but you know what I'm saying, with poetry, for a person that's really getting involved into it, and, for instance, they may see you, but they don't exactly know what to expect. So is it harder to build a fan base versus, what you would have like an MC? It's easy for them, somebody to pick and choose what they want to hear. You see what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I don't think, if an MC approaches it like that, then, he's not going to go very far either.
Right.
What you have to do in this game is you have to move around. So you have to travel.
Right.
You have to go and hit other cities. You have to make a lot of sacrifices, and that's some of the things that I did for years. Even when I had a professional, not a professional job, but when I had a 9 to 5, I would just take all my time, all my sick time and my vacation time, and I would just go to other cities. I'd look up on the internet, find an open mic, and go there. And spend money before people start to give you money.
That's a good note.
And that's the way that you get a fan base. So now you can go in other cities and people,
They want to acknowledge you.
they definitely know, oh, that's One Truth. Yeah, I'm hip to
Okay. Did you vote last week?
No, I did not.
Alright. So, any political views on that? You know what I'm saying? Personally, I don't want to, tap into too much, but that was just one of your things, or
I feel like it's the lesser of two evils. When you submit yourself to that system.
okay.
They're both snakes, and they usually are both corrupt in what they do. So it's almost a lose-lose situation, and it's very unfortunate that people died for that cause when they didn't really know.
That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. That's what it is, though. Moving on now. How do people? Naturally, I know they might want to hear you. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing or whatever. So, how do people get in contact with you? You know what I'm saying? They want to book you for a show, pick up your, your product. How do they go about that?
Well, I have an email address, which is onetruth216 at yahoo.com. That's ONETRUTH 216 at Yahoo. I also have a audio website, which is www.onetruththepoet.bandcamp. Like that first time at Bandcamp, right? Yeah. .com. And there you can hear my last 2 albums, which is Expression Sessions and Soundtrack to Life. You can purchase tracks or the whole album, but the most important thing is you can hear everything. That's what's up.
All right, well, we want to thank my man, One Truth, for sliding in the booth, well, not so much the booth, but sliding here down on the Underground Show, but we are going to get my man, One Truth, in the booth, and he's going to, show y'all once again what, his style is all about, and, it's going to be something very interesting for you all. And this is your man, DJ Mike C's. I am definitely signing off. Until next time, I want to thank my man, Truth, for stepping in, and we'll see you again in a minute, and I'll see y'all again in a minute. Peace.
I become silent in my later years. Remain at this window pane. Close my eyes. I don't like what I foresee.